patient and let the blessings stack up. I ain't gotta crash out or act up. Everything they tried to tear down, always build it back up. I done dealt with the backstabbers, then dealt with the snakes. But that's what you go through when you're meant to be great. Man, the person that you think you are, they gon' try to tell you ain't. But this life is your canvas, it's about the picture you paint. Don't let them leave your vision tainted. You don't need their validation. Truth is they can't relate. Deep down, that's why they hating. Ain't no task too tall. Just get live verse David, man, they wanna see me fall. But I got friends in higher places. I'm about to make it happen. Tell them haters be patient. No, this ain't a rap song, dog. This a declaration. It's the real versus fake. You about to see the segregation. And I'm preaching on these beats. Got me feeling like Pastor Mason.
We gon' make it last forever, never clash together. Get through any storm, outdash the weather. What we got in store, let's back together. Celebrate our wins, we can brag together. Cause I got you and you got me. That's on my life till I D-I-E, R-I-P. To the old times, we done hit a gold mine. Cast out the demons just to lay it in the sunshine rays. Man, I feel amazing. Working overtime cause the booth is vacation. People think we racing, but really I've been pacing. Playing with the heli as a team, celebrating the top spot. Never been a hot shot, always been a top notch. Long as he with me, I can never get got. Thankful for hip hop and everything it brings. We counting up the rings, we counting up the rings.
Together, we can make it last forever. Straight throughout the warmest deserts. Love is letting free, untethered. We'll stand together. We can make it last forever. Straight throughout the warmest deserts. Love is letting free, untethered. Stand together. Stand together. Light and free, untethered. Stand together.
Yo, what's happening, everyone? We're live, 104.1 WXRWLP, River West Radio. Your favorite live at 5 every Monday, Interstellar Vision, Intellectual Minds. If you want to, you can now watch the live stream on YouTube, Interstellar Vision, Intellectual Minds, because I finally just started it. But shout out to everybody. You know, you got to go pull up the full episode, I guess, if you want them first 20 minutes of gems. But, Nate, if we could hit the rewind button and you could summarize the first 20 minutes of gems in regards to what the academic system is currently missing. What is, because a summary is cool, you know, a 1 minute summary of what is the current school system missing in order to make an equitable education that benefits everyone from all backgrounds.
Definitely. We're pulling out a stage of not having understanding, community, and involvement. We got to get all three included and include community as much as we could. When I say community, I mean educators, teachers, parents, students, dogs, cats. Bring them all together and let's grow together. And I think the school system within that it suffers because again it's going political, and I think the understanding, community, and involvement from everybody I think will pull us out of that stage and keep us going.
What would have ever caused this shift to go from community into the politics side?
I say the surroundings. I say when you go from community and you go from the politics sides, now it's about keeping doors open and budgeting and things like that. It's not about feeding into what's important. So you have an organization such as the students, the kids. You're supposed to have a higher purpose, a higher meaning of doing what you want to do. But what breaks that down, again, is we got to keep the doors open, how to keep these numbers up, how to bring this money coming in. And that's what hurt our youth. That's what hurt our education system and everything else around it, even homes.
We're going to make a extremely big shift in conversation here, although everything is going to be tied to this next concept. And the next concept I want to ask you about is for you to share on your perspective of faith and spirituality, what those words mean to you and how you practice them in your life.
Faith and spirituality drives my life now. I used to be a guy that got mad at everything. I used to be a guy that got mad at what I couldn't control. And I put my faith in everything and my time and blood and sweat into everything. And sometimes you're like, man, I still didn't get anywhere. But then again, I had that faith. I prayed. And I understand that I'm not above all anyway. I can't control what I can't control. Simple as that. And when I led and I started leading, I'm leading by that now. It helps me day to day, man. It helps me not only with my lifestyle, but with the people around me.
share some success stories of how you persevered through a situation that where you had to learn that you can't control what you can't control.
Okay, okay.
I know that's deep. That's a real deep. Like, okay, which one am I cool with sharing?
It's cool.
Because
We're
it's
gonna get
some
into
deep
it.
stuff.
We're gonna get into it. I really say just moving down to Texas, moving down to Texas by myself, and understanding that what was going on in Milwaukee, thinking I can just transfer everything and everything would flow good in Texas. I had to start all the way over. I had to start all the way over, and I was by myself, and a lot of, like I said, blood, sweat, tears, and trying to understand why things are going my way. And when I slowed down and I stopped thinking about what I can't control and think about what I could control and what's in front of me at that moment. Like in this moment right now, what can I control? And that helped me out so much, man, because I just had to slow down. I had to slow down. I slowed down, I kept faith, and I kept driving. So moving down there, it wasn't a day, it wasn't a week, it was months of not understanding why things weren't going my way. And one day, man, it clicked. One day it clicked for me, man. I came back home, and honestly, I seen the city, and I went back and I said, "No, I got to keep going. I got to keep." And once I kept that drive of what's in front of me, and not looking back, and not trying to control what I can't control, and kept that faith, man, that kept me going.
Tell me a little bit about the importance of your network in life and relationships. How to continue to nurture and maintain good relationships, and how to know when to let go of harmful relationships.
Okay, buddy. Uh, the most important part of that for me is understanding, again, where I'm at this point in my life, and understanding that the connections, the relationships, that they're most important. They're built off trust, honesty, and communication. And I drive big with that. I'm real big about the balance. I'm real big about understanding what you have going on and not being disappointed if things don't go my way. I'm real big on letting things take its time and run its course. But I'm also getting bigger on boundaries, understanding boundaries within life, relationships, and that community communication. And once you break all of those down, and again, it comes down to this: I can't control what I can't control. So that helped me drive a force, man, and drive that pattern of force of understanding that the community, the people you keep around you, the relationships, they're going to ultimately drive your life as well. So you have to keep it up. You have to keep the community involved. You have to keep yourself involved, and know that again, you can't control what you can't control, man.
So once somebody has broken boundaries, how do you handle that relationship moving forward?
So I'm big on that. Again, understanding. Don't get me wrong. It's a limit to boundaries, and that's where thyself have to figure out what limits do you want to reach, what limits do you want to get to, and what helps me figure that out is that I can be going through something in life, my neighbor can be going through something in life, and sometimes that boundary just has to break. And it may not be intentional. It may just be the shift of life or what's going on or the people around us at the time. And so for me, if I understand that boundary has to get broke, well, then I just step back a little bit. I talk, I communicate. Hey, okay, was it on purpose? Was it because something happened in life? You have to communicate that out so you can get through. And I was telling my mom this the other day, it takes a community. It takes for all of us to get together and figure out the common goal, figure out how can we do that, figure out how can we be down one day, still have a community around us, even though we've broken those boundaries, and still stick together. And that's what's important, no matter what's going on, no matter the amount of money, no matter the amount of success, no matter the house, no matter where you live, whatever the case is. Once you understand that those boundaries could be broken, you figure out that scale into which you want to continue that relationship or that communication. And then you also understand that it happens. It happens. Simple as that.
Speaking of your mom, what are some of the biggest lessons that you learned from your family? That interesting double-sided question. What I really meant to ask was, what are some of the biggest values that you gained from your family growing up? However, I will also expand that question to what are some of your biggest lessons, because sometimes, yeah, I'm just going to leave it right there.
My biggest thing in terms of value with my family is that the community, again. understanding that community, and similar to my mom, she always did things to keep people together, to keep people involved, to make sure everybody was fed, to make sure everybody, if they needed to talk, they can talk. And so through me, it's I used to figure out, like I said, I used to get angry. I used to get angry at things that didn't go my way. And I figured out when I started getting older, me and my mom, and as well as my dad, we are much alike. And similar to my dad's side, my dad is very fruitful. My dad is very outgoing. And on both sides, just want to have a good time. So what I got out of that in terms of value is the connection and the community within the relationship you have. So meaning, if you don't value the relationships that you have, somebody else will. If you don't value the relationship that you have now, it may be too late. So that's the value, and that's what I pulled out of today, and what I'm going with, and I'm driving with today.
Talk a little bit about. You really hit on it. In terms of some of the values you look for in your relationships, but I wanted to speak on extended relationships a little bit,
Okay.
or like non-nuclear family relationships. But let me change this question and be like, what are some suggestions that you have? Because when we're talking about extended family, our relationship, for example, is happenstance, teacher to student, and we stayed in connection, right?
Definitely.
Through the values you talked about, which was trust, honesty, and I don't remember what else you said, but like, okay.
Yep.
And that's all I live on now is trust and honesty. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
I was just on a call, like I said, and I said, I just want to be able to be real with you, because being able to be real is the only way to live in reality. That's why the word real makes up the word reality. And the question that I now just want to ask, I wish I would have not went on that side tangent.
Yeah, you good. You good.
How does, okay, and this goes back to with the education, for people that grow up in abusive homes, and homes that tell them that they're not going to be nothing in life, that, that basically destroy somebody's self-esteem. What are the habits and the behind the scenes success activities that it takes for someone to be able to build themselves up to have a high level of self-confidence? Because in order to grow an extended family, for example, what you've done in Texas, whether they're colleagues or they became close partners or whatever it is, you at first did not know the person. And in order to have a successful business yourself, you have to be able to present yourself in a way where people know, like, oh, this person believes in themselves and they're the type of person I can work with and they're going to get the job done. I want to invest into that person. So how does somebody go from being not confident into being able to be confident so that they can grow their relationships outside of the circle that they already know?
I'll say get involved. I'll say step outside your comfort zone, move around, do things you don't think you will be doing, and get involved. Start those hard conversations. Have those conversations at home, and then branch them out to people, colleagues, the people that you don't know, or vice versa. But have those hard conversations. The one thing that I think that makes it hard for, I know you went back to education, the youth and the drive, we talked about a lot in the last couple of years. We talked about a lot. And I think what stopped that is no mentorship. We don't have anybody taking these, because one thing about it is, especially with a young man, you got somebody that's talking to you, that's encouraging you, whether good or bad. You have somebody like that, and then sometimes those people just go away in your life, and you stuck. You don't know where to get your answers. You don't know who to talk to. It's not like talking to your friends. It's not like I can say, hey, Wilkie, I need to chop it up, man. I need some faith. I need some prayer, and we pray together. And at the end of the day, I think once you get involved into that, you can't stop. Once you're community-based, if I reach out and say, Wilkie, hey, how you been doing? I can't do it for 2 years and stop for a year. And, what's that? I may be driving your life. I may be driving the next person's life. I may be giving fruits to you that you're feeding to the next person. So for my job is to keep people involved and teach people how to be involved and be self-sufficient leaders. And with that, again, it takes a community. It takes a community.
Hey, man, we got Nate, the official king 25th birthday. Oh
Appreciate
God, he in the OG status coming
Stop
up
it.
here.
Stop
Come on now, it's happening.
Stop it.
Dropping gems on River West Radio. We're gonna take a small song break. This is Ashes to Dust, favorite song off of my recent release project.
Uzi with the Uzi, yo. We are the world, every one of us, fighting for love. This earth is all we got. In time will rise like the phoenix does, leaving a mark before ashes turn to dust. They're trying to say it's over. This ain't no place for closure. Bring all them good things closer. Keep them inside like soldiers. Looks like a heavy boulder until you flip it over. One glance behind your shoulder, advancing, moving forward. That's all it takes, that's all you need. Feel your breath and let it be. Constant focus sets you free from distractions, negative. It's an honor to exceed. Living life is like a tree. Dig roots deep in ancestry. Make them proud before you leave. We are the world, every one of us, fighting for love. This earth is all we got. In time will rise like the phoenix does, leaving a mark before ashes turn to dust.
Love and trust, I gotta feel and touch, yeah. I know you're feeling alright and sometimes stuck, but good things can be rushed. One day I'll make it and come back for you. I'll say it each time and make you blush. Sometimes I gotta do drugs and roll my blunts, cause the pain be way too much. What do I do when I'm on the stage and the fame just ain't enough? And the perks don't come in clutch, and I forget who I was. I forfeit who I am. Every song's a brand new chance. I just pray you understand. Come with me, just take my hand. Just take my hand. Just take my hand. Just to my back, you want my friend. I'm just doing what I can. I won't lie, let's try again. My heart been in a chance. I ain't gon' put them in the bandit. Ain't gon' speak about what I did for you. My mama said I'm trippin'. My big brother said I'm gifted. Sometimes I don't wanna hear it. I was sitting in my cell and I was thinking about how they did me. I did right, but shit was tempting.
We are the world, every one of us, fighting for love. This earth is all we got. In time will rise like the phoenix does, leaving a mark before ashes turn to dust.
What's going on, y'all? We live 104.1 WXRW LP River West Radio Milwaukee. We are not in Pearland, but shout out to Pearland and the good times had there. Hanging out with the young genius, Nate Smith, the youngest project manager ever at your organization at what 19, 20. When you was working with them, you're not still with them, no?
I am.
Wow.
I am. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So, and how old were you when you stepped into that?
I was 19, yeah. I was
Yeah,
19,
19 years old, youngest project manager ever.
Ever, yeah.
Impressive.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about that story. About first off, do you remember the question that what we were just talking about in terms of like
How can
different
it be scary?
backgrounds?
Yeah.
Okay, can you hit on that? And then see, this is too many hits playing football, brother. You know what I'm saying? So that
You're
question,
fine.
and then whatever question I just asked you now. Oh, how you got into the project management at such a young age.
Okay.
Can you hit me with both of those?
Definitely.
You got me better than I got me. Thank you.
Project management. When I was younger, man, I always wanted to build things. I got down to Texas and I went to school for trade for HVAC. I finished HVAC and did that job for about a month, and then some told me to apply for this other company, which is a sub company to a city, and then I ended up starting working for the city. Well, during that time, I was a equipment operator, installing new water and sewer lines underground. And we were going from 1,000 miles of pipe to pulling 1,000 miles of pipe out the ground. And I like the involvement of it. When I started going out there, I've always worked, but when I went out there, I learned how to work hard, I believe. It was guys that was 2, 3, 4 times older than me that was really helping me, nurturing me, teaching me, and being patient with me, from, most importantly. And from that, I was like, man, I think I can do this. And so that next year, man, I ended up enrolling in school. And during school, literally 2, 3 months later, I got another position to be project manager from equipment operator. And so I was over about 5, 6 projects that spanned from 200,000 all the way to $29 million. And those projects to this day is actually, because I'm back around working with these same projects, but these projects to this day are flourishing, man. And I loved it after that. I loved it. But I think the involvement from the guys that were older than me, that stuck with me and were patient with me, kept me going. And following along to the other question with that, man.
Can you say the question again?
How could it be scary, or how is it scary that you have so many backgrounds? How could it be scary that you can have so many backgrounds of youth tied into this pool or in this city or in this world? How could it be scary? For me, it's scary because you have kids, again, that's fighting at home for different things. You have kids that don't have parents at home, sorry. And then you have kids that do have it but don't appreciate it. So when you mix all this together, man, and it's like a ball pen with all these different colors, man, and none of them are mashing together, but you got a lot of different ideas, you got a lot of different opinions, and you got a lot of different things that weren't talked about at a young age. So it can be scary because this is our life. This is our future, as well as me, as well as you. You know, it can be scary because if we're not opening to what other people have going on, we're going to get lost. We're going to think that I'm good at what I do. I can keep going. I know what I did. I've did 20 years, 10 years, whatever. And we forget what's most important. We forget to nurture. We forget to succession plan. We forget to be patient with our youth. And that's scary. That's scary.
How does somebody develop patience, or what is the attitude that you have that allows you to be patient?
It goes back to understanding again for me. When I look at situations or people I'm talking to, sometimes I jump the gun. And then I slow down and I say, okay, well, I can't put myself in those shoes, so I got to be patient with that process. Same as well as a job that may come or a relationship. It takes time. Understanding that we want people to be patient with us, we have to be patient. And sometimes if people are patient with us, we got to put more patience out on that end anyway, because we have to be understanding. So if I can understand that, okay, I understand what you're going through, let me be patient with the process. I can't rush you or anything like that, because you won't want nobody rushing you in your process. So that understanding and that patience is very important.
I love it. When it attitude that I have with patience that I'm so grateful I've came to the wisdom of is treating the youth that I work with the same way that I am fortunate that our Heavenly Father treats me with, the same patience and forgiveness and grace. You know, now there are different humanly limits, right? Like if you are betraying me in multiple ways or even one way extremely poorly, you may be, walled off. There is now a hard, like, this is done. You know what I'm saying? I did what I could do, but I have to protect myself and the community, from someone that may possess. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's only their subconscious. They're not meaning to be malicious, but, malicious acts are real.
Definitely. I've seen things like that, but I've seen them let it realign. So it's a saying I like to say, and we talked about it, let go, let be, let God. So when it comes to those relationships and those people, when you let go of it, you let it be, just let it simmer in its own mess and let God take care of it. And everything going to be all right after that. So in those type of relationships you were talking about, I think that's my ethic. I let go, let be, let God.
I love it. And that I will feel that that's the same energy that I'm going to just speak on the patience. You know, anytime that I'm like, bro, what is you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's like, hold on. I've done so many things wrong, and the kingdom of heaven has always welcomed me home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
how can I give that same love to this? There's a difference between a mistake and a sin. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, a mistake is a mistake. And we're all actors in our world. We're acting in
Yes.
this life with our character that we have. And, you know, you got the director that says, take one, go. And if somebody messes up, he says, cut, take two. You know, so it was a mistake.
Yes.
As compared to a sin is consciously harming somebody else. And that conscious harm, depending on the severity of it, may affect how I choose to interact with you moving forward. I could forgive you, but I may not be able to accept you back in as the prodigal son the same way.
Yes.
You know, the
Yes.
story of the prodigal
Yep,
son
yep.
who was welcome home, you know. But yeah, it has helped me so much just learning how to be patient, because I ask for forgiveness all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I feel an obligation that the better I am at being able to give forgiveness and patience and mercy to others, the same way that the universe in turn will be able to give that energy back to me.
Plus some.
And Lord knows I need it. Oh, love.
All love.
We are going to take another song break. We've been hanging out here with Nate Smith, young entrepreneur, 25th birthday today. Wish my brother some love. Give him some flowers. Find him on Instagram, Nate Beneficial. Hit the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Send it all in. Hey, come on.
Uzi with the Uzi, yo. All my life in power, I survive. Winter, space, and time collide, materialize. Heaven's all my life in power, I survive. Winters, reach up high, climb, visualize. Watch me shake a social impact, keep each other intact. If you're really with that, we can make a big splash. Riding on a wave, what more can I say? Pray to elevate, solution integrate. I've been feeling great, no longer on the chase. Believe, collaborate, daily dedicate. Life events and change, neighborhood create. Healthy, wealthy space, together Harambe. All about development, we don't let the devil in. Heaven came to settle in, all we need a dream to win. MLK in modern day, outcomes with security. Empowerment and unity, inspiring the good in me. All my life in power, I survive. Winter, space, and time collide, materialize. Heaven's all my life in power, I survive. Winters, reach up high and climb, visualize. Watch me shine. Watch me shine. Reach up high. Watch me shine.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on 104.1 WXRWLP, River West Radio, Milwaukee. Your favorite Live at 5 every Monday. Interstellar Vision, Intellectual Minds, hanging out with one of the greatest young geniuses of the world, one of my favorite brothers, Nate Smith, entrepreneur, born and raised in Milwaukee, now located in Texas. And, yeah, here we are, brother, the last 10 minutes of the show.
Let's get it.
So you suggested a topic, and we're going to take your suggestion, honestly. I only have one main question left, so we can hit we're going to hit this conversation before we get to that last main question. And you just brought up and proposed the idea of talking a bit on hourly wages versus project-based income or entrepreneurship. And
Yes,
come
yes.
on, let's hit them.
I feel like the world is going into a place where entrepreneurship is the get go. So um, I think the involvement with that is, I think it's something that lost, because I think in that transition we've lost a lot of the work ethic. So I think the work ethic behind doing a lot of things that a lot of people don't know about has been lost. For instance, man, I've always wanted to be uh, busy. I always want to stay busy. Don't mean I wanted to have a job and have a business and do these different things, but God has blessed me in the different transitions of life and today. So I wanted just to break it down, understanding that, if you're out there listening, you don't have to feel like you got to be on top of the world when it comes to money. You don't feel like you have to work a job for 20 years if you don't want to. You don't have to be an entrepreneur if you don't want to. But what I will say is, never limit yourself to whatever may show or present, or whoever may show or present the opportunity. Never limit yourself. And I don't know if you can attest to that, Wilkie, or if you can give some information out there, man. But I think between both of us, man, in these conversations and the growing we've been doing the last couple years, man, it's just been phenomenal. I'm sorry, phenomenal.
It's all love.
I'm sorry.
Well, you good, brother. Let them have it. Let me clear my throat. Okay. I'm still with that bro. Just not caring, brother. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
It's probably even worse than it was. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Just
living
as confidence grows, you care less and less.
I agree.
But yeah, first off, you're a very special part of my story, because when I was a school teacher and then the quarantines came with COVID-19 and whatever was happening in the world during that time, I was teaching virtually rather than staying in Milwaukee, and I was traveling the country. I had recently separated from an engagement and was just out going and seeing the country, which is something that I always had wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up very well taken care of, however, without the luxurious funds to travel.
Gotcha.
So, I always wanted to travel and see things. So to be able to have the opportunity of being paid a consistent paycheck, while living in Airbnbs, and the travel was so affordable at that time, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It was amazing. And, it came to a point when the schools decided to reopen in April. And I was in San Diego when I had to make this decision, funny enough. I don't remember how long I was staying with you on that second stint. Oh no, that was the first stint. So that was about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
That was 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. And the school basically gave me the ultimatum of like, well, you either got to come back or you have to lose your position. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, I just don't feel comfortable coming back with these different protocols. Like, this is not what I want to stand for. And, of course, they didn't care. They just needed the role filled. And I was like, okay, fine, I could come back. You know what I'm saying? Because they only gave me 24 hours to make the decision.
Gotcha.
And then some part of me was like, bro, I cannot do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't go back and be a part of something I don't believe in, which has helped me a lot in life in general, is just realizing, like, I was just offered a position to go be like a meditation coach at a school.
Okay.
And then they say you can't use the word spirituality or talk about religion at all. And I'm just like, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I teach success when, like, the core of my success is spirituality? You know what I'm saying? I can't use the word itself. But yeah, when the ultimatum was given, and then told them the situation and that I was unable to go back to the school.
Okay.
And they had to fire me. They were unable to get me to quit, because if I quit, I would have had to pay a termination fee for terminating my contract. So I was like, y'all can fire me if you want to, but I'm not quitting. You crazy. It was like $2,500 or $5,000 or something. You know what I'm saying? If you left the
so
school.
You went out guns blazing.
Y'all let me go, bro. Go ahead. Do what you got to do, bro. But I will keep teaching virtually. You know what I'm saying? I'm not quitting. Y'all going to have to take me out. Because I'm not paying 5 G's to, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But yeah, you know, and then I had one more Airbnb booked that I had already booked from April 4th to 11th in Miami.
Okay.
Shout out Kodak. I just want to spend my Easter in Miami. That was my inspiration, and but yeah, you know, on the way there, I had to sleep in my car, and in New Orleans, and then I stopped in another city on the way. But you know, I was just so nervous about it, and you was like, "You gonna be good, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You gonna be fine." But I just really thank you so much for being so hospitable and raising my confidence I could do it, and just all the love that you shared. But all I could share off of that message is like, always see the universe respects the authentic and the bold and people that live in truth, and it just fits into what we were just talking about reality. Like,
Yes.
if you are being real with yourself and living in the highest truth that you know at this time, you know what I'm saying, and that's what you're expressing, the universe is going to conspire to support you. You know what I'm saying? And make miracles happen from the unseen into the seen, from nowhere into now here, from impossible into I'm possible.
Yes.
And so that would be my only message, I suppose, off of this rambling that I just did, is like,
That's
one,
great
thank you
information,
for
brother.
everything, and two, like, bro, live in authenticity, live in whatever is real and true to you, and because the truth is the only thing that's real. You know what I'm saying? And when you live there, you're there for in the highest vibrations. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the whole goal is to live in the highest vibrations of the earth.
Yep.
And when you live in them, man, life is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? All it takes is some courage to live in honesty.
Yes.
And you could break free. So 2.5 minutes left. My most important question, my favorite question that I ask on every episode. If today was your last day, you don't get another birthday, brother. Today is it. And you are guaranteed not to wake up tomorrow. You have a stone tablet in front of you that's a magical tablet. And when you speak to it, it does talk to text and turns what you say from words, and it graves it into the text,
Okay.
into the stone. And then the whole world, after you pass at midnight, will have a hologram of the tablet, and they will get to see what you said on that stone. You are tasked with the responsibility of leaving your top 2 success principles on how to live the most successful, joyful, loving, God-aligned, righteous life possible on this earth.
Okay.
What are those 2 suggestions that you have?
Mean what you say and say what you mean. Yep. Mean what you say and say. Simple as that. That's it.
And elaborate how that's beneficial.
That's beneficial because it'll take you through a lot in life, a lot of conversations, a lot of relationships, a lot of jobs, a lot of undercomings, shortcomings. Mean what you say and say what you mean.
And I feel like in the process, it takes a while to learn what you mean. You know what I'm saying? How
Yes.
does somebody work through that developmental phase of learning what your truth is?
You be patient with yourself. You be patient with yourself and allow community to come in, allow involvement, listen more than you talk. And again, just be patient with yourself. And everything that you can see or dream about, it'll come to fruition.
Nate, how can people stay up to date with what you got going on in life?
I'm going to get back out there. I'm out here in Texas, and we'll do more work. Free Conversation and Podcast. Actually running and starting a nonprofit here in Milwaukee in the next couple months. So hopefully by fiscal year 26, we can get that jumping. And, being more community-based, but Free Conversation, Instagram, Facebook, Nate Beneficial. Connect with me.
Hey, man, always love, brother. It's an honor to have you here. Shout out to Free Conversation. Yep. Shout out to our sister, Kayla. Ozoville forever.
Definitely.
And life is beautiful, man. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for sharing your time with us today,
much
brother.
Much love.
It's all the best.
Yes, sir.
I've been on my way.